Hello. Welcome to the video. Today we are just gonna be making a Rayquaza coat. That's basically it. Why I do this? Because this man JGB made this thing called Team Sky, and I'm like, I kind of want to join that or just be a part of it and make something cool. So I just said, Rayquaza plus coat equals pretty cool. So without further ado, that's my basic intro. You're about to see like 25 hours of work plus ironing in 5, 4, 3, 2, now. Alright, so we start out with our simple hand stitching and more hand stitching and more hand stitching. And then we pull out some scissors and then we continue to do more hand stitching. Oh god, when will this ever stop? Please just make it stop. Please move on to parts. I made them. We're not gonna put them all there because I actually need to get specific ones. And we move on to me doing and looking at these instructions and struggling with the machine, which it's gonna be a very common theme throughout this video, but I'm just not gonna show it anymore. And then we start edge stitching. And now I need to pause and tell you what edge stitching is. So here's how edge stitching works. You have fabric part A. You take fabric part B. Line it up, stick it right on top of the other one. You then take your needle, in this case a marker, and just go along the edge going ba 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 ba. And then you have your fully done line over here, connecting the two pieces of fabric, allowing you to just to fold it back and see that they're both connected. And that's how edge stitching works. Now that that simple explanation is done, let's move on. We have me edge stitching and edge stitching some more. And it's a lot more edge stitching, man. I don't know what to tell you. We move on to day 2. Now day 2, you can tell it's day 2 because I'm lining up fabric and I'm wearing an entirely different shirt. Now we match up the patterns more here, and we continue to pin and match up patterns. Moving on to more pinning, it's like the most repetitive process, and I'm doing something, and I'm more edge stitching, which is great. And I'm more edge stitching, and more edge stitching, and even more edge stitching. Wow! And then top stitching, and I'm gonna explain to you what top stitching is right now. Okay, so here's how top stitching works. You get piece A. Actually, it's piece A, B, because you have one side connected over there, and your already other edge stitch piece over here looking nice, and they're just like it's a seam. Imagine that looks nice. Now, hold with me. You get your double needle, and you take that, and you go ba 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 ba, and then you have a nice finished look to your entire product. And that is what top stitching is. And with that extremely helpful explanation, let's get back. We got more top stitching, followed by edge stitching, by more top stitching, by more top stitching, by more top stitching, and by, you wouldn't believe it, pinning. I know, it's different, it's strange. You guys are like, but I thought it was going to be edge stitching or top stitching. We have to do these things. But look, there's edge stitching more. There's more edge stitching. Are you happy? Alright, and then we keep edge stitching and more edge stitching, and I should really just stop talking. But it's more edge stitching and more edge stitching, and that was basically the entire day until we move on to Halloween, aka day 3, where I probably start with some top stitching. And then we look at this handy dandy thing called a pattern. And if you didn't know, that right there is a pattern. It's what's telling me what to do in this thing, and we'll get back to the video. So we have this pattern, I'm looking at it, just making sure everything matches up. I do some more, you guessed it, edge stitching, or just not edge stitching and refusing to pay attention. Fix the machine. It just keeps happening again and again and again, please stop. And then we move on to examining, edge stitching, more edge stitching, examining and fixing the machine, more edge stitching, even more edge stitching, switching the needles out, edge stitching, we get some of the coat, attaching the Rayquaza patterns onto the arm, doing more of that, making sure it's all safe to the arm, and then doing some more pinning for that, and then sewing it back on getting the arm piece, looking at the instructions, doing more sewing, and even more sewing and more sewing. And just keep edge stitching, top stitching. It just boom, bam, edge stitching, boom, pulling inside out. Oh, tying up, changing shirts, boom, bam, and now it's day 4. We move on to day 4 where I start the lining. Now the lining is the inner part of the jacket. Okay, if I opened up my sleeve right now, you'd see the lining covering it and just making it look nice and professional. Well, I pinned it, I put it together, I sewed it more, I probably top stitched it because like everything needs top stitching. I think I made the arm part make sense. I had to like measure that, and sleeves suck. That's just a general consensus, is that they just suck. Kind of feel bad for people who make clothes. Oh, look, it's day 5, and we're still doing lining. And arms and sleeves. Oh god, sleeves, please, just not anymore, please, I beg. But we just do a bit more pinning. We do a bit more of the pinning again. Probably did some hand stitching over there, but you wouldn't see it because I can't show my face. More pinning, more stitching, more moving. We get some more edge stitching, more stitching. And then the needle broke, so I had to take it out of the thing and just leave with it. The needle broke on me because it was just too powerful of a Rayquaza coat, and I just had to leave. And then we came back, replaced the needle, and kept going. I just had a bit slower to try and not break the needle, and then more machine difficulties. They sucked so much. Back into this. We keep going around. We keep doing it more and more and more. We just keep adding parts. And there's a part of the jacket. Oh, you guys get a sneak peek, and back to stitching the arms and the body and putting things together. And more putting things together. And removing parts. Oh, look, there's the lining. You get a sneak peek. It looks nice, right? Comment down below if it looks nice. We get some of the trim for the arms. We just make sure everything's attached together. Some more stitching. Even more stitching. And then we add the lining for the bottom. And after all of this has been said and done, we move on. After all of it, finishing attaching everything, we move on to the B-roll. As you can see, I'm still sitting here. It's the same recording take. Thank you for watching, and have a happy New Year, because this is the last video of the year. And if you see this not when it's December, have a great day, and thank you for watching. And maybe subscribe if you want to, because it's free, and you can always just not want to be subscribed to me later. And we have the goal of making like a core subscriber button at 100 subs, so like join in that club. And I'll see you guys later. Bye. Why haven't you left? Okay, you better go soon, because the video is about to end. Oh, look, it's ending now. Oh no.